This is what your fiance told me to do.
In the cold and sleepless nights, I'll wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can thicken every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save it. Your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, but words can't say it all. Sweeping me away like an avalanche. Like an avalanche. I listen for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors. Just a ray of light, bathing me in drops of ink that glaze across my body. Wish you could unfreeze my heart and we could fly away. That's why I wanna save it. Your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls arise, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, but words can't say it all. Sweeping me away like an avalanche. Like an avalanche. Crashing walls and waterfalls and crystal balls can see. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, the words can't say it all. Take my breath away like an avalanche. Like an avalanche. Like an avalanche. Like an avalanche. Sweeping me away like an
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, South Florida, and welcome to the breakfast at the Brooklyn Cafe TV.
Take a deep breath and a good whiff of that coffee brewing. Grab yourself some toast, a donut, or any breakfast. As Dawn and Freddie get you up and ready for the rest of your day.
So I grabbed myself and called 888-994-4995 to share a tip of the day.
Or just to say good morning.
So get ready for the time of your life.
Shake off your sleepies, buckle up, cause it's
Showtime!
showtime.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe. My
What happened to your bell?
My bell is shaky.
Your mic is hot?
Yeah, I made it hot. I made it because I have to talk like a human being.
Huh? What you talking about?
What you talking about, Willis?
How
Listen,
you doing?
Welcome to everybody watching the show. Good morning. I found out today that filling up my car is going to cost $70. It was $66 today.
Wow.
$70, but I was told by President Biden and Congress and everybody else, it is my contribution to the war to support Ukraine. Think about it this way. We're going to go to $6, $7 a gallon. No doubt, because we are going to boycott the oil from Russia. And Russia has promised to make it $400 a gallon if that happens. So think of it this way. You are supporting the people from Ukraine, and I'm all for that. I'll pay my $70 and go away with a smile. The whole gas station at Costco was talking about this, and people started to applaud.
Really? I call that propaganda, but whoa.
It's not propaganda. It's not propaganda. I'm going to tell you something. Wrong is wrong.
I call that a spin, but we got to do what we
It
got to
wasn't a
do.
spin. It was true.
Carpool.
Go down to Costco.
No, I believe that. I believe it was
Clintmore.
true, but definitely got to do what you got to do. Carpooling.
Yeah.
HOV lanes.
You could,
Share it with a friend.
you could
Yes.
do all that, but are you going to carpool to come to work?
Well, if there was someone along my way, like Anna, absolutely. You live in the wrong direction, I would pick you up too.
I'm going to try my bike. I'm going
Please.
to get on a bike.
Let's do it.
Listen, that ain't the point. The point is everybody's going to pay. She's going to pay. He's going to pay. Everybody's going to pay.
I
And
saw
instead of-
groceries too. Everything.
And well, that's different. I'm talking about gas. I'm talking about the things directly from.
Yeah, but gas directly affects your shipping and your importing
That's
of
right.
things getting to the
That's
grocery
right.
store.
Yeah,
So it
that's right.
affects everything
But
along the way.
Dawn, wrong is wrong is wrong. Okay, I understand countries having conflict. I get it. I understand democracy versus communism versus socialism. I get it. I've studied history. I get it. But this is just brutal.
I saw the clip yesterday you're talking about with that random bomb missile to people out as they were trying to leave. It's
Just
just
not
so
right.
horrific what is going on.
You don't say, okay, we're going to have peace, and then all of a sudden you
You
bomb
launch-
people running. You
As
don't
they're
shoot
there,
people
I
in the
know.
back. You don't do that. Then, let me tell you the craziest thing that I saw yesterday. The Ukrainians are saying that the Russians have sent nothing but young people to fight this thing. You'll
Younger.
be considered old. She would
18,
be.
19,
They don't
right?
even know what they're doing there. I don't mean you're old. I'm just saying that you would be considered for this example. to
You're
be
not
old.
18 or 19, right?
Talking to that mic.
You're seasoned.
Wow, I'm still,
He's so happy to be back in his seat over there.
Like,
He's like, Freddie, I want the
Did you
board.
turn that mic on?
It's like every day.
Is your mic on?
Yeah, everything's good.
But
But
not
you know,
about
it's the
the
funny
microphone
story.
for Connor, if
Mike
you want
2
to-
was on the whole time that you started the show.
Mic
So,
2?
Yeah,
Her mic?
this one.
It was on?
Yeah,
Did you hear everything?
I don't know.
We'll
I gotta
find out.
check
It's
on
okay
the
because
screen.
Freddie edits it anyway.
Okay,
So they don't edit it. Freddie edited it.
I'm just letting
Well,
you know.
today is International Women's Day. Slick, what year did it start? This is impressive.
Started in.
You have your mic?
Talk to your microphone.
Good question.
Oh, I'm going to point it out for you
It
from now on.
started in the year 1917 on March 8th.
In Russia, you
in
said?
Russia. In St. Petersburg, the women walked out because of food shortage in World War One.
That's right.
That is
However,
unbelievable.
But
You
a
talk
true
about
fact.
coming full circle.
correct.
True fact. Now, I want to also bring up another piece that I saw yesterday. What I should do is I should record these things because nobody believes me. I should have recorded Costco, but I couldn't. It was on the phone. But I should have recorded it. Yesterday, lady from the Ukraine makes it to Poland this morning. After 8 hours of being bombarded, she finally got out, her and her son. And she's on the phone with her brother in Moscow. And she's telling her brother and sending him pictures and video of the hell that she just went through for the last 8 hours. Do you know what her brother told her? You're making this up. That's a lie. There's no way in the world we would do that to another country.
They don't know.
He refused to accept the truth.
Well,
Are you serious? That's like your brother sending that or your sister sending that. What are you going to say now? You're lying to me?
well, no, I was going to say there are people in this country that don't believe certain atrocities that happened either. They don't believe
Brother
that
and sister?
They don't believe that Sandy Hook has happened. They don't believe a lot of
Oh,
things have
that's
happened
another
in this
thing.
country.
Sandy Hook.
So there's a lot of people that believe what they believe, whether they know the other side of truth and facts.
So
I'm not saying I'm
the
in
ca-
agreement with you.
the catastrophe that happened down with those 17 lives on Valentine's Day, that catastrophe, we've had the dads and mothers on this show.
Do you know what I just saw, which is really heartwarming? They named one in the Parkland Library. They renamed one of the rooms after her, after Gina.
Okay, and
Which
we've
is
had
lovely, yes.
and we've had him on here.
Sure,
Okay.
Montaldo.
So should I say to him that never really happened? I dare you to come and tell this man it never really happened. I dare you. Because when you lose a kid and people say to you it never really happened, you're messing with fire.
Sure.
And what's happening right now, and this is the reason I brought up the gas thing, that I don't mind paying the $70, because if it means that I don't buy Russian anything, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and McDonald's, you'd be ashamed of yourself. There's a boycott going on, and I'm calling for it as well. You won't see another burger from McDonald's here again. Coke, done. Pepsi, products, done. Now that means no more soda because Pepsi and Coke own 90% of all the sodas. Done with
You
it.
drink
I like
soda?
tea. I like tea.
I'm going to green tea. No more soda.
Or
Be done with
McDonald's.
it.
Oh, man.
Okay? Because I think that what they're doing is atrocious. They
Yeah.
did it in Vietnam too. I'll never forget that either. Okay? So I'm hyper, baby.
I know. What's going on is absolutely horrific. But today is International Women's Day. It's a day to
Congratulations, by the
celebrate.
way.
I'm so intrigued, interested that it actually started in Russia in 1917. And,
Figures.
and here we are today. But it's not about just honoring women. It's about equality, gender equality, employment equality, workplace equality, bringing everything up, that we are equal as to everybody else. Doesn't matter what race, color, anything you are, sex, nationality. We should all be created equal. We
It's-
are, and we are.
It's amazing. We can't even agree on man, woman on this planet.
And now we've got different genders.
And now we're going to war over different philosophies. That you should not be free. You should be under my dictatorship philosophy. Really?
Here's the amazing thing. There are so many things in life that you have to worry about. Why do we have to throw in, I don't want to say a needless war, because clearly Mr. Putin thinks it's needed, but the rest of the people don't. But I saw a really heartwarming story today that, remember we talked last week about surrogacy? There seems to be a large amount of surrogacy in the Ukraine. And there was a family from Florida that went over days before war started because their baby was about to be born. And in the throes of all of this, the surrogate mother goes into labor, has this baby in the middle of a war, and then they have to get out. Then there was another family whose baby needed to get out. That family could not get across the border into Ukraine. So this new mom and dad got their child safely out of Ukraine, was able to get the other newborn child safely out of Ukraine, and travel for multiple days with, it's like the miracle of Hanukkah, with enough formula for one baby for 4 hours, which ended up lasting for 2 babies for 4 days, through the grace of God and the generosity of community and strangers, with no money in their pocket because they had to pay the taxi driver, the Uber driver. It took them 4 hours to go 18 miles. They gave him everything that they possibly had
From
in their
where?
pockets to get from the hospital out over the border
In the Ukraine?
in the Ukraine.
There's still Uber drivers?
Whatever it was, they paid someone. They
What are
gave
you
them
gonna pay them with?
everything that they had. So they get to the airport as they're leaving across the border with nothing. And the community, Ukraine, the people, they came forward, and the agencies, and they gave them formula, and they gave them diapers, and they gave them clean food, clothes, enough to get both babies where they needed to be, and then to get safely back to the United States. You talk about coming together. The people of Ukraine are spectacular. And all this mom could say was, by the grace of God and the kindness of strangers, I don't know why I'm here or how I'm here, that I get to tell this story. She said, but we had nothing left. We gave it all away just to get across the border. And these are U.S. citizens.
Well, what's happening now is that foreign fighters, 16,000 so far, have joined the cause from all over the world to go into Ukraine. So they have some Americans from Pittsburgh who are Ukrainian, were born in Ukraine and have been here for years. Pastry makers, automobile workers, all these guys have paid their own ticket to go to Poland, and they're going into the fight. So they were asking them, why are you doing this? Normal question for CBS News, right? And he says, because I want my kid to grow up in a free Ukraine. And he goes, but are you willing to die for that? He says, that's why I'm here. And he went right into it. So they try to keep tabs on one of the guys. And he says, I can't talk to you now. I'm deep into it.
Wow.
And these are foreign fighters from here, from the United States, all over the world, 16,000. And the embassies are telling the Americans, don't go. Now, the Russians yesterday made a statement. Says, you will be treated as the enemy. Don't come here. And then these people says, I don't believe anything you say. You shoot at people running away from you, ceasefire. You're shooting civilians. You're not shooting soldiers. So who do you believe? I have to believe the Ukrainians because they shouldn't even be in there.
But there are things we can do, and actually Summer Fearman, who we interviewed, I want to say a year ago, she works with TLC, Temple B'nai Torah, and they are putting together, you can go to their site, and there is a link for Amazon of all the things that are being sent over to Ukraine through a shipping storage facility in New Jersey. This woman has family in Ukraine, and she has donated her warehouse as like the landing point for Amazon to come in and ship to different areas in the Ukraine that will allow anything, even just from ibuprofen and Tylenol to baby formula. You can find their site, and you can make any donation you want. You can go to this Amazon site and send things that'll go directly to New Jersey and head right over to the Ukraine.
Now, I have a question for you. I just want to listen to see if the podcast is working. Let me see.
Yeah,
I
I
got
hear
a-
my voice on everything.
I got a question for you.
Uh-huh.
I got into an argument yesterday with people saying, when you went into... Oh, look, it's working. When you went... See, Slick, it's working. Slick, it's working, Slick. When you went into Afghanistan...
Storage facility in New Jersey.
Storage facility in New Jersey. When we went into Afghanistan, the United States, and we got involved in there, we had no business there, is what the argument was against us being involved. But when we went in there, did we or did we not invade Afghanistan? That's a question.
Did we go into Afghanistan?
To fight a war.
I guess
Invade.
is what does what does invade call? What constitutes invasion
you.
though? Is
Thank
the question.
When we went into Iraq, did we invade Iraq?
Good morning.
You can sit right there. Chair's waiting for you. We'll give you a mic. Was that an act of war when we invaded Iraq?
Yes.
Did we kill people?
Yes.
Did we kill civilians?
They say innocent lives were taken.
Okay.
Don't you remember the first
But-
milk factory
But
bombing?
hold on. This is an argument I had with somebody yesterday. How do I respond to this person? Well, we went in for Iraq. Now, why did we go into Iraq? Does anybody remember?
9/11.
So you invade a country over 9/11?
That's really the only reason. Oh, sorry. That's really the only reason that I had to say we went into Iraq. And
It was
we went
to
Afghanistan.
stop terrorism, so they
Correct.
thought.
I
There
want
was
you
other- there
to
was other-
think before you answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Because nobody goes to war. How long were we in Iraq?
Oh wow.
How
Well,
many things
until
did
a
we
couple
destroy?
years ago.
We destroyed their army. We destroyed people. We destroyed...
And then they're saying we got false information that there was no milk factory bottle situation. None of that was going
Let's
on. It
assume
was all
that
false.
that's even not part of the conversation. I'm not even going into the reason afterwards. I'm going on that we have a right to invade Iraq.
They have a right to do 9/11.
It wasn't the country of Iraq that went after
I
9/11.
felt like they cloaked it with the whole 9/11 situation because they were looking for certain people, not the whole country.
okay,
So when they came
you're
into
right.
the whole
I
country,
agree.
it was a whole, like, they cloaked it saying that it's 9/11 terrorist situation, but
It was
do
how do you
you
get to
in-
the
there was
terrorists.
there was other things that.
But
they
do
were
we
doing.
invade a whole country looking for these terrorists?
Well, how are you going to find
Can't do
Putin unless
that.
you go into Russia?
Can't do that.
How do you find Putin? So in order to stop Putin, you have to invade Russia. Think about. I just want you to understand the mentality of the person I was arguing with, which is somebody at the radio station. Okay? You got to understand the mentality of what they're throwing at you, because you have to be able to defend your stance at all times. I think what that Putin is doing is murder. Sorry. That's just my opinion. But then this person throws at me, and what you did in Iran was murder. Well, not me. I didn't go, but I defended that. I agreed to it. I was in 9/11 when it happened. But you knock down 2 buildings and you take out a country? I mean, think about this for a second. I know we lost 3,000 lives. I get it. Nobody asked that to happen. I get it. I lost a lot of friends.
So what do you do? Nothing?
This is the question.
Do you sit and do? And
But do you invade a country?
You don't really invade a country.
Well, here's the funny thing. I was watching this show a couple weeks ago, right? And I talked to this black ops guy. I was telling you about the whole story that he did in this book he wrote. And he said they had eyes on bin Laden years before this happened.
Thank you.
Close enough, Slick, that where you and I are is as close as they allegedly were, that they could get thousands and thousands of pictures.
And they didn't take them out.
And they did nothing. Not
So-
only did they not take him out,
Thank
they
you.
did not even arrest him. They did not detain him. They did not take him off the grid. It was just like this.
Thank you, because the argument happened because you said that. You see, the problem is that we are responsible for everything that happens in this country as an American. So when you go to Puerto Rico or abroad and they talk about these things, you have to be able to understand. You have to educate yourself enough to understand what it is we're doing. Did we really attack a country because of 9/11?
So if this gentleman's story is right, and I don't know, this is his story, I have not corroborated it, and they were as close. We had CIA operatives that were that close to bin Laden and his team that could have potentially stopped this, thwarted it. They said they weren't even going to kill him, just detain him enough to stop what was going on and get the information and get into this cell. Maybe 9/11 would have never happened. But do we learn from our past mistakes?
we
Because you're going to
don't.
tell me we don't have any boots on the ground. They sure showed us yesterday that we got boots in neighboring areas with NATO, which you know what just shows you? We got boots closer than we think,
See, the problem is that when you're the president,
in my opinion.
when you're the president of the United States, you got to make a decision. And all hell can break loose. Now, can we go after Putin? I believe the generals should go after Putin. Because the generals that are doing this massacre,
But the fear is, and there's a huge...
what is the fear? That he's going to shoot you?
No, the fear is nuclear retaliation on the world.
Not if he is taken out.
How do you know there's not a
No,
second,
like,
there's
even
not a
if you
chain of
cut-
command?
Even if you cut like the head of the snake off, like he already had people under him that's gonna be doing the same thing as him. Not
Look at
saying
Hitler.
that there's
Hitler did not
another
act
Putin,
alone.
But I'm pretty sure there's somebody that's gonna act if Putin is.
See,
out.
my biggest fear is that you got an 18-year-old kid with his finger on the button.
Yeah.
He don't know what the hell is going on, and he
Correct.
hits the button.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's the
Yep.
problem. So you know what? If it costs this much, I would take everybody from the Ukraine out and give them Puerto Rico.
It's just what's happening
In
to
the
the
whole
families, the
country.
women, the children, and Piragua. Was that funny yesterday when you were looking up an ice scraper and I asked you if
I
it's the same
bought one.
ice scraper that you clean the windows with?
Yeah.
I thought Josh
I was
Stern
ignoring
was
her.
going to
You know what an ice scraper is for Piragua? You know what a Piragua is?
like a
an
snow
icy-
cone machine.
Snow cone? The old fashioned, you scrape it like this and then you put it in, you cone it out. You ever seen those? Yeah. So I bought one yesterday and this one's looking it up and she's looking at the things you clean your windows with.
Like, what's an ice scraper? Is it the same? But in your world, you could implement any kind of
In
instrument
my
to do
world.
this, right?
What, to clean the windshield? Yeah. A hanger,
Why
your
could you
sleeve.
have done like taken an ice scraper and a big block of ice? Slick says, "Where do you get the ice?" You said that's easy. To me, getting Amazon and
No,
ice
first of
scraper is
all,
Big
easier.
block of ice. Where can we
You
find that?
can't use an ice scraper to scrape the ice. What, your windshield scraper?
Piragua is all I can tell you.
Look up ice. Look up purchasing blocks of ice, and it'll tell you where to get it.
We're gonna see where to do
There's got
that.
to be an ice cream store somewhere that sells it. Yeah, they sell it. I used to live across the street in the Bronx from an ice cream store that made ice cream. I forget the name of it.
Like homemade?
No, they used to sell it in the stores. It's like Ben and Jerry's.
Oh.
And they made it there. And we used to get bags of ice. We used to get ice cream. But when I buy ice cream from them, it was like gallons. And I used to take it and put it in front of the house and and all the kids just throwing over.
Remember the ice cream truck?
Which one?
I have to ask you a question. Speaking of ice cream and kids, did you hear what our Surgeon General of this great state that
Oh,
we live in
jeez.
decided
Oh,
to
jeez.
pass?
Yeah, I saw
What
it.
happened?
I saw that.
He is not recommending, he is going against CDC guidelines on vaccinating children from the ages of 5 to 11
If they're healthy.
if they're healthy.
Oh.
Because allegedly you can fight off the virus. Here's the craziest thing, and everyone's up in arms that this great state that we live in, not only is our governor did what he did last week as far as the mask, now our Surgeon General does this for kids. Now, what if you've got a healthy 11-year-old who can fight it, but he lives with an elderly grandparent who cannot? Does that come into consideration?
Well, 11-year-old is one thing. 5-year and below.
Between 5 and 11, 6, 7, 8, these kids go to school. They get a virus. And they come home and they give it to mom, and mom's got whatever. Grandma's got diabetes. Grandpa's got heart disease.
He's putting people in jeopardy.
And they get it. Not only is he putting people in jeopardy, he's not preventing it. He is like clearly waging a health crisis on families, which then any virus, the flu as well. I mean, I'm not just saying it's COVID. I know there's people that don't believe COVID. But if your child can get a flu vaccine, if your child can get a meningitis vaccine, measles, anything, why are we recommending not to? They're not even saying it's your parents' choice. They are coming out and recommending, and I worked in pediatrics for years. How do you put everyone in jeopardy?
Because your governor, and get this, the governor was told by Trump to stay out of the 2024 Olympics or he's going to wipe the floor with him.
Olympics
Straight to
or
his face.
elections?
I mean, elections.
Oh, it's
Hey,
too
right
late.
to his face.
In my neighborhood, there's like this block that I passed before I come to you guys. They have DeSantis Trump flags 2024.
That's what they're saying.
You think they're going to run together?
That's what they want.
I think
They
this
want
whole
Trump
street of mine
and DeSantis
literally has
together.
DeSantis
Trump, and then they're going to have,
2024. I don't even know where they're getting these flags.
No, and then
must
they're gonna
be
have
print-
this-
They must be printing them like.
and then they're going to have DeSantis
I probably know
run-
who's printing them too. you
They're
probably
gonna have,
know it too.
They're going to have DeSantis running 28.
Go down that street though. I just passed by for anyone who.
24, 28, and 32. DeSantis in 28 and 32, Trump and DeSantis in 24. So now the Democrats are coming up with Michelle Obama running for House in 24.
I like AOC. I like Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez.
No.
Why?
That's a bad
No,
ticket.
No,
Because that chick is like off the mark,
one
man.
of the representatives from Georgia.
No, I like Michelle Obama. Michelle
She's not
gonna
gonna
will give
run.
them. Why?
She's not going to run. She already told everybody she's not going to
I
run.
don't think she's built a platform to run.
Yeah, see? She's not going to run.
Oh, I'm sorry. The madman has?
No, he's just a freaking madman.
Yeah,
And,
you're going to have a madman sandwich. You're going to have
And-
Trump and DeSantis.
and our governor and our Surgeon General to they do, and masks in kids and schools, and
that was
holy
That was DeSantis
cow.
forced him to do that. I'm
Well,
sorry.
it doesn't matter. He's going to take the heat for it or not. I mean, I just cannot even believe what I heard yesterday.
Well, it's up to you, the American people, not to vote these people in. Why is he governor? How do we get rid of this crazy person? Now, I'm going to tell you, I voted for DeSantis. I thought he was a smart man. And right now, he says, Freddie, I cannot listen to all of the stories. Like the Don't Say Gay bill.
Yeah.
He can't talk about the rape and the intelligent parts of the bill because he says if we do that, we'll be here all day.
The Don't Say Gay bill and then the 15-week abortion bill. That's all I can
But
say.
he says if I were to listen to everything that's going on with these bills, nothing would get done.
You know what I would like? Our crew does their own shows as much as possible. And Alyssa and Audrey have done a show on Thursday, and I think Josh will be here on Thursday also.
Yeah, he's doing one too.
It would barely be interesting to hear your generation's perspective on what's going on in our legislature right now, because you all come at it. Your generation are the ones that are really there fighting for it,
You're the ones that are affected by it. I'm
right?
not
And you
having
guys
any
are the
more
ones that
kids.
are fighting for it. Those in college, high school, college. I think that's it. And to hear your perspective on what is about to be passed or signed off on right now.
Do you even know what's going on?
Me?
Yeah.
Again, he's older than the average bear.
Okay, don't give him excuses.
Thank you.
You know what's
Just
going
saved
on.
my life. Yeah, of course.
You know about Don't Say Gay and all that? The bills? You know what DeSantis is doing?
Yeah, I seen what DeSantis did at the school about the high school kids.
How'd you feel about that?
I just feel like that's not his choice to tell people to take off their mask. Really.
But he feels that he can.
He feels that he can. That means he's probably on a power. He's on a power. What's the thing called? Yeah, power trip. Basically.
How do you
But
feel
nobody's
about that?
stopping it.
Yeah, I feel like there's
Go
a
punch
bunch
him
of-
in the head.
Nobody's doing
there's a bunch
anything.
of-
Like, that's the
there's a bunch of
amazing
yes
thing to
people
me.
around him saying it like he should just leave it as an option if he wants to. What is it? I say if he doesn't. I think he wants that energy around him, like that. People talking about him saying that he's doing it.
Okay,
right.
I
He
got a
likes that.
question. Suppose you have a brother or sister, or you have your kid on that stage, and you're in front of this, and just take those masks off. What would you have done?
I have to stand up.
And
Even
say,
though, even though he's my representative, I'll just stand up.
I don't give. I'll throw my shoe at him.
I
Represent
wouldn't-
this.
I wouldn't throw my shoe at him.
I
because there's
would.
cameras
He
around.
has
I would
no
have
right
let
to
them
tell
know.
you to take
Correct.
that mask
Yeah.
off. Because if you wore it there, you wanted to feel safe, right?
Yes.
So he has no right to do that.
Yeah.
That's like me telling you, Slick, put on a mask. Have I ever told you that? Yeah, but I've never told you. No, I'm not asking you to do that.
When we were in the height of this, we absolutely did tell them to wear masks.
When we did, it was different because nobody knew what was going on.
But what I don't understand is why is our news media, again, they're simply reporting. They're not even showing you what's going on. You have to watch national news to see what's going on in the state of Florida in legislation. You can't find anything on our local news that's showing you,
You
that
don't
these
get
kids
it.
are fighting.
You just don't get it.
Don't get what? That there should be
They
fairness and
want
equality
to
in the world?
this state red. All of a sudden,
Oh,
because
I-
of the last
I see that.
election, that allegedly, and I talk to people every day where this new million,
Well, a lot of
billion votes
your
came from.
a lot of your people that you produce are very far that way.
Far. They're so far I can't see them anymore.
They're like in a
But
whole
you know,
other
they
world.
don't listen
Yeah.
to logic. They don't listen to logic. If you have something that can save your life, do you take it, or do you just chance it? And then when you get sick, you tell me, "Oh, I just have a migraine." Meanwhile, they're puking, they can't breathe, they can't stand, they can't walk. And it was because of this. I know a guy who's still alive because of that shot, and he's talking nonsense over the weekend. Really? Now, can I say something? No.
But to come out and say that about kids,
We are media. We are not allowed to have opinion on other people. I can't tell nobody what to do. I can't tell nobody yes, no, or no.
I'm not saying you are. You should. I'm saying is why do you not see what's going on? All you see is they're passing this 15-week abortion bill, and you're hearing it and hearing it. You didn't hear it until it was getting ready to get signed, right? You didn't even know it was on the docket.
Correct.
And you very rarely have seen anything but maybe a 2-second glimpse
he
of
signed
the
it yet?
protesters. It's supposed to get signed this week.
Okay,
And I
so
would
have you-
venture to
let's
say,
go up to Tallahassee.
I'd venture to say, in his greatness, as today is International Women's Day, he will probably sign that bill today to prove a point.
to prove a point.
I think it's supposed to be signed tomorrow, is what
How
I think.
insulting is that? To prove a point. Let me demolish your rights even further.
So I think it's supposed to be tomorrow. And are we in National Women's History Month? And that too. It's all.
So why don't
to
you
gain
lead
leverage.
a caravan of
I
buses
thought about it,
and
but then
let's
I
go to
thought you might get
Tallahassee?
rid of me as your partner if I
Why?
did
I'll be
that.
standing right next to you. I don't think he has a right to do that.
I thought about that, and then you think
I will
about.
go. I'll drive the bus.
And back to,
I'm in.
our Surgeon General and what they're doing with the kids. What about teachers? What about those that are working in our school systems and the custodians and the cafeteria workers that might have different underlying conditions? You're telling these kids you should not get vaccinated, so now you can put everyone's life in harm's way?
He's
Because
gonna
what,
tell-
you're not going to die?
He's going to tell you the
You
science
should
is on
get
his side.
sick
The science
and
is
miss
on his
work? Is everyone going to pay for these people to miss work? They're not even doing PTO anymore for COVID. If you're sick, you stay home. If you have PTO, great. If you don't, so sorry.
That's because Mr. Governor has a salary and he can buy anything he wants. Mr. Governor doesn't have to worry about gas. He doesn't have to worry about rent. He doesn't have to worry about nothing. His wife, knock on wood, has cancer, and that's being taken care of. They don't have to worry about how they're going to take care. If you're going to get ugly, then get ugly all the way.
You know, I
because
think
he has
about-
everything taken care of.
Groceries and everything and what they're doing. Groceries are staying the same price, but you're getting less per ounce.
That's right. So instead of having a dinner, you get a cupcake for the same dollar.
Right. Your hamburger cut smaller. Your box of cereal that may feed your kids for a week may not feed all of your kids for a week.
And then what's going to happen is you got to turn to a life of crime Because how are you going to feed what you got? And then they're going to say, well, nobody told you to have
Why
four
did say you're
children.
going to a life of crime? I didn't go that whole direction. That was like
I would have said like Uber
What was that?
or DoorDash or start like
A life of
Uber
crime?
Eats or
What are you,
something.
Batman?
You just go left.
We're gonna put a Batman
If
light
they
over
were
the
gonna-
Like you,
studio.
you put on the black trench coat already.
If they
and
were
said,
going to
"I'm
go
doing
do
it."
Uber, they would have done it already.
Why?
They're not going to do Uber. They're
So-
going to be criminals. They're going to hijack you in
you're
the
as
Uber
bad
car.
as our governor, I think. No.
Linda always says, I always go to the extreme.
Holy cow! That
But isn't he going to the extreme?
We're just talking about jobs. How did you go?
jobs and gas and a box
Talking
of
to
cereal,
Pablo.
and you're like,
Crime.
life of crime.
Life of crime.
Where's your sister when I need her?
Life of crime.
She's gonna go. That's my brother.
But it's true. You know, the funny thing is that you want to sugarcoat it. I want you to be nice. I want you to talk nice. Please do not pass this bill.
Well, no, there are people that are suffering and trying to support their families very honorably and not going to a life of crime.
Nobody wants to go to a life of crime. I'm saying crime is going to be on the uptake.
Speaking of which,
I
last
saw
night,
the Batman.
well, get this. Last night I fall asleep and Chuck comes in. My bank card was hacked. I'm like, okay, can we talk about this tomorrow or was yours? I don't know. I'm sleeping. I don't know if mine was hacked. Apparently someone took his bank card, which was in his wallet, and went to Circle K and decided to try to buy gas with it.
Now, you know that he can turn it off, the card.
He did.
Okay, so then you call
He
the
did.
bank and
He
you get
did.
another one.
He took care of it, but this is exactly life
Call
of crime.
Slick.
Life of crime on the way up. Because
Slick
gas
destroyed
prices
my
are
card.
On the way up.
Oh, really?
He destroyed 2 cards and all of my bills and everything that my card paid.
The
I'm
life
now
of
late.
crime.
That's because you
Slick,
went
how
to
could
the
you?
extreme of the card. All he did was cancel it. They said, we'll send you a new one. Boom.
Oh, no. They didn't send me a new one.
I know.
They sent a new one to somebody else.
You just, because you
Then
went to
all
this
the bills
extreme.
got eliminated or late.
I don't even know what to tell you on that one.
Oh, because I tried to do the right thing.
You did.
And Mr. Slick, instead of saying, please remove this card from
I
my
apologize.
posse.
I thought it defaulted back, but you know, thank you
So,
for the
ever heard of
DoorDash.
Emmett
Thank you.
Till?
Yes.
So the Senate just yesterday unanimously passed a bill that would make lynching a federal hate crime that's punishable up to 30 years in prison. Just yesterday. Do you know how long it has been sitting and not passed because of all the details of all of
Since 1963.
I mean, think about this. 1865 lynching started between 1865 and 1950. The House first passed the legislation in 2020. They could not a typo, but it failed to pass the Senate after Senator Rand Paul objected to it, arguing the language needed to be strengthened. And now it is considered a hate crime. Why did it take so long for us to decide that lynching was a hate crime? What could it not be? Seriously.
You want me to answer that? You says I can't talk real.
You can, but how could lynching be considered anything else but a hate crime?
Really?
Act of love? An act of fairness? It's like Jesus on the cross. This was the next step of lynching.
These people that lynch people take Jesus off the cross.
But it was our government that just finally yesterday decided it was a hate crime. Yes, it's a hate crime.
Can I ask a real silly question? Because we got about 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
Do you think that we have people who hate in the government?
Yes, but I don't think they think they hate.
Just answer the question yes or no. And then we'll get into the rest.
Connor says yes.
Okay, so we have people representing you, me, and everybody else who are hateful people. Powerful, rich, hateful people.
Just powerful. Maybe they're not hateful. They're just jaded.
Just powerful
I
because
think
they
they
can
lose
move stuff.
perspective.
No,
Correct.
I think that we have hateful people in Congress.
No, it.
I think we have bigots. I think we have racial people in there. I think that politically, the race has turned its ugly head up,
correct.
and you can't avoid it. When Obama won, everybody says a black man's never going to win. A woman is never going to win. So a woman and a black man are looked at racially. The color of your skin or being a female is looked at racially. Now, you can color this any which way you want.
But how could lynching not be considered a hate crime?
It is a hate crime, but they won't say it because the people that vote on it are racist. Sorry.
It's okay to hang somebody? No matter what
It-
color you
no,
are. How is
it's
that-
okay to hang somebody if it it isn't a federal crime. You understand the way this works. So you hang somebody in Florida, you go to jail for 30 years or 20 years or 10 years here in Florida law. Then the federal government comes in and they give you another 30 years. You could serve 60 years for hanging somebody.
See, Bill Cosby just got off?
Who?
Bill Cosby.
He did?
He got off a few weeks ago.
He got out
Oh.
of prison, yep.
He's out of
You thought he
prison.
was guilty?
Not my place to say whether he was guilty or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gosh
but,
darn.
but staying with the hanging,
Yeah.
the federal crime makes it a federal crime. There's all sorts of punishments that come with it. So federal is one thing. The
State is different.
the death penalty is on the table federal, not on except for Florida, which had the
course.
death penalty.
Of course.
They don't
I'm
have the
Florida.
death penalty in New York, but in New York, federal crime does have the death penalty.
Florida and Texas are running neck and neck these days.
Correct.
They just are southern good old boys doing the southern good old boy thing, and that's what it comes down to now. I've been prejudiced against in two different ways. One, I look Italian, I have Italian name. Two, I'm Latino, so it depends on what part of the country I'm at. I got raced on by Latinos, and I got raced on by whites.
You know, it's interesting.
where to
I know
go.
we have to wrap this up. When you and I first started working together, we were at another radio station, and someone walked in of a different heritage, and she yelled at him for being an old white CEO. Right? We were on commercial break, or maybe I don't even know if we were on air, and she yelled at you for that, and it was heated, and it got nasty.
And I said, first of all, honey, I'm more Latino than you are. And I started talking to her in Spanish. Her Spanish was broken. And I said, and I got traits to Puerto Rico. And I got traits to Spain. I said, don't you ever call me that.
That was bad. I mean, what people come out of people's mouth and hate, again, if we have not learned from history, we are bound to repeat, and I cannot
And
believe
repeat it
we're going
we
through
are.
this
That's right.
again and again.
That's right. And if you say that there's hate and you scream out the word hate, look in the mirror because I have a feeling there's a little hate in you too.
So today's a day of hope and inspiration and International Women's Day. So you can see all these great things that popped up. I need to get a picture of our Roku followers, the numbers that we have that you showed me yesterday. Because 3 years ago today, it came up on my feed of what we had. You're not even going to believe what it is. I'm going to do like a before and after.
368,472.
3 years ago today, we had 465. And
Thousand?
now, 100. 465, period. 465. No zeros after that number. It came up on my time hop from 3 years ago. And now we have what?
115,000.
So,
215,000.
3 years, and 2 of those years was during a pandemic. So, pretty
No, it's
impressive.
working.
So we
It's
keep
working.
doing what we do, and we keep sharing the information, and there's always, always a shred of hope, and hopefully more. So
That's
to all
right.
our friends in the Ukraine, our thoughts and prayers are with you. To all of those in Russia, we hope that the truth comes out. And for all of those empowered women out there, keep doing what you do. And to all the men that support us along the way, it takes a village. Ready to wrap it up?
Yep.
We got Fuego coming to you at 11 o'clock.
And we'll see you at 12 o'clock.
We'll see you in a little bit.
Don't be late.
Have a good morning.
Oh, got it.
Thank you for listening to the morning show. As I go now to fill my mug, which is completely empty, I'm coffeeed out.
Your cup runneth over.
No,
Have
company dry.
Have a great morning, everyone. Stay safe, be kind to each other. Tune in for all of our other morning shows coming from Ant Media Productions, and then our afternoon show at 12 o'clock.
And always join us for more fun and laughs because, you know, your day starts when you smile.
Have a great morning, and we'll see you in a little bit.
And don't be late.